Welcome back from the break. This is still the pulse here on the Joy News channel. Now, relatives have been forced to transfer the bodies of their deceased loved ones elsewhere due to ongoing voltage fluctuations affecting the refrigerators at Korle-BU Hospital's mortuary. Despite the growing concerns, hospital management is yet to issue a response. Our reporter, Semefa Kpesu, visited the mortuary, and here is what she found.
We've gathered is that for about 3 weeks now, the voltage supply to the refrigerators at the mortuary has been inconsistent due to the increased power consumption in the area. This fluctuation has caused issues with the compressors that are used to preserve the dead bodies. Additionally, technicians responsible for the maintenance on these refrigerators have not been paid for about 6 months now, so they have withdrawn their services. Although the manager of the mortuary has refused to speak on the record, he confirmed that they have issues with their refrigerators and also the place is congested. He, however, added that they have sent information to the hospital's management that they need to work on the situation. We have been speaking to some of the relatives who have dead bodies here, and they have confirmed that they have to do transfer of their relatives to other mortuaries within the municipality.
For barely about 2 quarters now, the refrigerators have not been serviced, and this is creating a lot of inconvenience for the hospital. I personally had a body there of an auntie, and realizing the current situation, we had to transfer the body from the place to a different mortuary. Intelligence further revealed that Nesta, the company responsible for the maintenance of the refrigerator, has not been paid for 2 quarters. So this has been the challenge, and putting the smooth running of the mortuary into a little bit of a challenge.
This year, I'm I feel now omoye 1-1 to more people in idea. You are training my train say be go through you do train more the abetu.
See more problem with machine and I be a higher congested.
Oh, that be so far the me baha no pay the mintis will be a kasa asem and I'm assuming your worker or ha. Just me or who maybe ha ndana pay.
Reporting for Joy News, I am Semefa Kpesu, Korle-BU Mortuary.
Also, Semefa joins me in studio with more on this particular development. Semefa, I'm grateful to you for joining. First off, let's start with what you found.
Right, so we went there. You know, it's a public hospital, so definitely you need permission to carry on with these activities. So we couldn't get a PRO. We learned that he was out on an assignment and he wasn't answering. So we went to the manager of the mortuary, and he spoke off record, confirming that they have issues with the refrigerators. The voltage has declined due to the power consumption in the area. That is one. And then the technicians that are supposed to carry out maintenance work on the machines or the refrigerators have not been paid. Now, these are people that need to pay taxes, and they need to procure equipment to do the maintenance work. So they've also hurt their services. Okay. Now, he also said that that's not the only thing. The mortuary is congested. So they need to carry out a mass burial in conjunction with the AMA. So they have written to the hospital's management telling them or detailing what exactly is wrong with the refrigerators, and then giving them timeline that they need to repair them.
Interesting. So the fluctuation is a problem.
Yeah.
Some of the fridges have broken down, and so they have to be repaired, or is the fluctuation issue? He
said that the fridges are working all right.
Okay.
But as long as the voltage is down, it means you cannot have the full operation. So they are on, they are operating all right, but the voltage is low. And that is the major issue right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And since when did this start? Did he confirm to you?
So he didn't confirm, but the relatives confirmed that about 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago
And
is when
it's actually worse on weekends. You know, weekends, relatives go there for these bodies for burial or funeral services and all of that. So it's worse on weekends. And you know, weekends, a lot of people are home. The consumption of electricity goes up. So everybody is using machines and equipment in the various residential houses and all of that, placing pressure on the hospital or the mortuary.
But again, we also heard of postmortems that need to be carried out on bodies that have not been done.
So the question to him was that when you enter the mortuary, the first thing that greets you is the stench. So we asked, people have been complaining that the bodies have started decomposing. Is it true? He said it's not due to the fact that the voltage from the refrigerators are low, but they have bodies that need post-mortem that have not been performed at all. And these bodies, when they are there, they've not been embalmed, they start decomposing. And then one other thing he mentioned is that you say we have bodies that people that die from accidents, others on the street, and before they bring them in, they've already started decomposing. So these contribute to the stench and not the refrigerator issue.
I mean, there's much more to it because, I mean, we've had these issues in the past.
Sure.
But we understand that this decomposition started 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
So there has to be much more to the issue.
Exactly. Now the issue is that they are not ready to speak on record now. So we've been trying to speak to the hospital's management to get what really is wrong. And also, looks like the manager has more to this, but because he's not been granted the permission, he doesn't want to speak to it. So we'll keep trying and get response from the hospital's management and, of course, the management of the mortuary itself.
Quite a disturbing issue. So from what you saw, how many families did you see coming for their family members? You know,
today is Wednesday. In the Ghanaian society, normally we go for these bodies on Fridays, so we can carry out the burial on Saturdays. So it's quite low. Those that we met there, interacting with them, they rather brought in bodies to be preserved. And then I think one of the attendants over there, the mortuary attendant, said that because of the Hopper War, there was, a temporary ban on these funeral services and all of that. So if the place will get busy, it will be from next week Friday, and it's mostly on weekends. So if you want to get a proper picture of what is going on, then we need to be there on a weekend.
Describe the stench for us.
Well, you see, I was in a nose mask, even when I was doing the stand-up. This is a stench as strong as something that could make you puke if you get there, because you're not used to it. To those over there, maybe they are used to the stench, so it's normal. Even the manager confirmed that, yeah, when you come in, you could, the stench greets you is the first thing. And then, speaking of record, some of the workers also confirmed that the whole mortuary needs a maintenance. They need to carry a renovation because even their offices leaks when it rains. So he was like, he was even hoping that it rains the day we'll come back there so that we can get a real picture of what really the situation is.
This is a star performance. Thank you for that. So that's 75 Pesu there. Richard Kofi Jordan is General Secretary of the Mortuary Workers Association of Ghana, and he joins me now. Richard, I'm grateful to you for joining. How much do you know about this situation at the Korle-BU Hospital Mortuary?
Well, good afternoon to all our viewers and then the mortuary workers across this country. I think she has just narrated the real situation at the mortuary. Unfortunately, this situation did not start 3 weeks ago. It's been like this for so many years. And I'm happy that at least you are realizing that the mortuary is in the bad shape. Workers will have to go through every 24 hours. It's not an easy thing. You know, these fridges, as we're talking about now, in fact, because of the power, the low power and the high power, the fridges are not able to contain the power. Therefore, it is possible that during the power fluctuations, some of the compressors will go off. And that is exactly what has happened to Korle-BU. It did not start now. It has always been happening. The main factor is that the mortuary does not have its own plant. It is a plant that is giving power to Korle-BU, they say all over the place. But the mortuary needs to have its own plant to be able to do a changeover immediately. There is up light off, or there's low schedule, there's low voltage or high voltage. So the situation currently at Korle-BU is not pleasant. It's a bad one. But I believe that when bodies are well preserved and embalmed, there shouldn't be any cause of alarm. Unfortunately, like she said, some bodies are there to be post-mortem. Some of them are babies that you cannot even embalm. Some of them are unidentified bodies that needs identification before you can embalm. So we have a bad situation at Korle-BU as we speak. It's not a pleasant one.
But so why the issue with post-mortem? Because we know that when someone dies, it shouldn't take long for the post-mortem to be done. Why is it a problem that is also causing the decomposition?
I don't think it's a problem. What it is that for a post-mortem to be done, it has to be done by a professional who is a pathologist.
Okay.
But if you have a lot of bodies that need to be done, you have few doctors to do it.
Interesting. But again, you talk about,
it will delay. It's not about workers or doctors who have to embalm many bodies, to be able to determine the cause of death of that particular remain. They have to do the post-mortem. And so it's a necessary requirement, which I think their timetable, they have to go through it. At any point in time, you will still have bodies that need to be post-mortem. So it should happen.
It means we don't have enough pathologists who are helping us out to do the post-mortem.
What I thought, we have less than 40 pathologists in this country.
The whole of Ghana has less than 40 pathologists. Exactly.
And some of them are getting retirement. So, it's an area that many people feel is not important.
Okay.
So it's a specialization that needs careful thought, Unfortunately, people think that when you are a pathologist, you only deal with the dead bodies. No.
Okay. But
you deal with pathology.
You also mentioned the plant. I mean, the mortuary should get its own separate plant. It doesn't have. How long has this situation persisted, and what's management doing about it?
Well, I'm not part of management. Unfortunately, management, I think, has failed us. Consistently, we report these things. Remember, there was a story of how the Korle-BU mortuary was, and then it came out, they ran up and down, and that's the end of it. And the most important thing is that we think the management has not been doing well for us at all. I mean, you should not wait until situations like this will crop up before you start running up and down, asking for help from others. I believe the manager has done his part. You take management at the mortuary will always do their part, write a memo to the top. Somebody has to sign it before it comes to force. And I think that is a problem, the top.
Quite a disturbing issue there. So what would really change the situation? Just a plant for the mortuary will change it?
I think with a plant, with immediate acquisition of a plant or separation of some powers and give full plant to the mortuary will solve the situation immediately. Apart from that, well, I wouldn't want to suggest anything. I believe Korle-BU management should, as a matter of agency, get a plant solely for the mortuary so they can operate to full capacity.
Okay. What sort of danger are we about to face if this situation persists?
I think it should be a national disaster. It should be a national security issue. There's likely outbreak of an epidemic, which I cannot tell how it will go. But I'm sure that anything that is not good for the workers is not good for the public. We work with the public. People come there to take their dead bodies and they sent alone, the decomposition. We don't know what kind of disease will spread. So it's a public health issue, which has a long potential of creating another pandemic for the country.
How long has Korle-BU been in this situation?
As long as I know, so many years. It's just that
unfortunately,
I don't know if it is management in the drainage where water goes in and comes back to the mortuary. has been persistent for long. It's been taking years, over 10, 15, 20 years. And I don't see why a mortuary should not have its own plant. You know, in where you are rendering essential services, and you have a plant like a mortuary, you know that just for about 3 hours, bodies begin to decompose. Some of the bodies are already decomposed in their homes before brought in. You should have a standby plant. In fact, it's a necessary requirement that you should have your own plant to be able to power and preserve those bodies. Otherwise, I don't know.
All right. I'm grateful to you for joining us this afternoon here on this particular disturbing situation. Let's see how.